لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. ألم تر كيف ضرب الله مثلا كلمة طيبة كشجرة طيبة أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء تؤتي أكلها كل حين بإذن ربها ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس لعلهم يتذكرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this ayah, and this is ayah 24 of Surah Ibrahim, that have you not considered how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presents an example of a good word, kalimatan tayyiba. And the example is that it is like a good tree whose root is firmly fixed and the branches are high in the sky. What is this good word and what is this good tree? The good word is the word of Iman, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. And the good tree is palm date. People who have seen this tree is pretty firm. It's not like you push it and it would be uprooted. You have to struggle a lot, and even in that case you won't be able to move it an inch. It can stand firmly in the incident of, or in the event of storms, winds, extreme winds. Nothing will happen, and on time, whenever the season will come, it will produce fruits. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Iman, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, in the heart of a mu'min is like that. When you have this Iman, it should not be shaken. It should not be taken away. It shouldn't be uprooted. It should be firmly rooted in your heart. It's like the earth that the tree is rooted in. It should be like that. Even if you are in an environment where everything is against Iman, the entire ideology around you is against Iman. Everything you see out there on media and social media is trying to take away your Iman, is trying to snatch your Iman. Your Iman should be like this good tree, that it's rooted deeply, but its branches are high in the sky, meaning based on your amal, you go up and up. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the ayah number 26, وَمَثَلُ كَلِمَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ كَشَجَرَةٍ خَبِيثَةٍ اجْتُثَّتْ مِنْ فَوْقِ الْأَرْضِ مَا لَهَا مِنْ قَرَارٍ. He says that, and the example of a bad word is like a bad tree, uprooted from the surface of the earth, not having any stability. So it can be a bad tree, can be uprooted like this. You just hit it and it will fall. This is like kalimatul kufr. This is like a bad word. The bad word is not a cursing word. The bad word is kalimatul kufr. When a person rejects Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when a person becomes doubtful about the existence of Allah, when a person commits other types of disbelief, for example, idol worshipping, or believing that Isa ibn Maryam is the son of God, or believing that Quran is not the final word of Allah, or believing that Rasulullah ﷺ is not the last messenger and the final messenger of Allah, and so on and so forth. This person is committing kalimatul kufr. And his example is like that tree that can be uprooted very easily. Have you wondered ever that in this time and in this day and age, when everywhere liberalism, atheism, agnosticism, Darwinism, and all those isms, they are spreading like wildfire, which ideology or which faith is standing firm? It's not Christianity, it has submitted already. Most Christians now believe that liberalism is the way how we live our life. Transgenderism is okay. I was just before, a few minutes ago, someone forwarded me a survey. According to the survey, the most conservative Christians, evangelicals, only 55% of them believe that homosexuality should not be accepted, which means 45% of them say that it should be accepted. And we're talking about the most conservative Christians here. Imagine the other Catholics and Protestants. The number must be very high of those individuals who accept homosexuality. But if you do the same survey among Muslims, inshallah, summa inshallah, you will find 80-90% Muslims would be saying that it should not be accepted. It is an attack against human race. So Christianity has submitted to liberalism. Judaism has submitted to liberalism. Hindus, all of them are liberal. Not even one who truly believes in his scriptures, truly and 100%. All of them have become liberals. So every ideology has submitted to liberalism and its diseases. Islam is standing firm. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised in this ayah that kalimatun tayyiba will remain, no matter how strong is the storm. And kalimatun khabitha will easily be uprooted, even if there is a very light wind. So as soon as this wind of liberalism started blowing, all these religions and faiths started falling. Islam is the one that remains firm. So this is the prediction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is 100% true in our time. So kalimatun tayyiba is what we have, and kalimatun khabisa what everyone else out there have. But what is kalimatun khabisa to be precisely? If we want to be precise, what are certain examples of kalimatun khabisa? You have heard many times people, the disbelievers who don't believe in any God, saying that life is just a coincidental thing. It's just happened by chance. And life is all what you have, therefore enjoy it as much as you can. I'm sure this type of or similar statements you've heard many times by people. They say that this is all what we got and we need to enjoy it. So according to them, life is the result of many coincidental events. It's just a by chance. And those coincidental events were all unconscious. They had no consciousness. But have you ever wondered that those unconscious accidental events result into consciousness? We are all conscious beings. We have consciousness. We make decisions. We know what is right and what is wrong. And we decide for ourselves what we deem to be the best. How are we able to do that? Because we have consciousness. How did we get it if all our causes that work together to give us existence were unconscious? So they were all unconscious and suddenly we gain consciousness. That's impossible. It's just like a magician's hat and a rabbit is coming out of it. If a rabbit can come out of it and he's not playing any trick, then I can say yes, unconscious events can create consciousness. But if a rabbit in real life cannot come out of that hat, then unconscious events cannot create consciousness. It's impossible. So kalimatul kufr is when some people say that life is by chance, everything is just happened by chance. No, whatever we see and whatever happens around us is not by chance, it is by design. And the strongest proof is of this design is us. We are the proof. We don't look for the proof around. We don't ask the tree, the branches, the carpet, the masjid, the walls, the mountains and the rivers. We ask ourselves, we are the proof of God's existence. We have decision-making power. If we, the lower being, have decision-making power, then Allah, the Supreme Being, has to have the decision-making power. And once He decided and He said, Kun fayakun. So this is the example of kalimatul kufr. Another example of kalimatul kufr is that people say that this life has no purpose. Because life is all what we have, we will decide what the purpose is. The life itself has no purpose. We have no responsibility because the life will not continue after our death. But I ask them a question that all of us, whether we believe in Allah or we don't believe in Allah, or we believe in Islam or believe in something else, all human beings, we live our life in different roles. We are fathers, we are sons, we're daughters, we're husbands and wives, we are colleagues, we are employees and employers, we're owners, we're drivers, we're homeowners. We have different roles of life. But despite all of these different roles, we do not forget that we are also at the same time responsible citizens of this country or anywhere you live. We have to follow the law. And this country came into existence, or wherever you live, whichever country you reside in, that came into existence for a purpose. The purpose is to secure the rights of its citizens. And therefore we live as a responsible citizens following the law. So if we understand our responsibility as a citizen of that country which we made, the country is situated in this world, many of us also understand the responsibility of being the citizens of this world. And that's why many people out there are very concerned about climate change. Why are they concerned about climate change? Because they think that we need to protect this planet for our future generations. Okay, so you are showing that you are responsible for the whole globe. But where is this globe? Nowhere. It is in this universe. If you care to be a good citizen of your city, a good citizen of your country, a good citizen of this world, why not a good citizen of this universe? Why your objective or your efforts of life are only about this dunya, about this globe? You have a life that was given to you by the one who created the universe. And if that life is there, then he is the one who set your purpose. We make our cities, we make our towns, we make our countries, and we design the law of these places. But we did not make this universe. We didn't create this universe. If people think that we have the authority to introduce the laws of towns and cities and countries, then the creator of the universe has the authority to introduce the laws of this universe. And we as the residents of this universe have to live our life according to those laws. But when it comes to another example of kalimatul kufr, when you ask them that, look, there are laws of this universe, and some of those laws are called the laws of nature. And if those laws are there, then the law maker has to be there as well. The laws cannot come into existence on its own. It's impossible. Give me one example where the law come into existence on its own. The lawmaker has to be there. So as soon as you talk about the lawmaker, they will again talk about the laws. Because the lawmaker, according to them, doesn't exist. Its example is that imagine if you ask somebody, how did this car come into existence? Who made this car? And the response comes, actually the first engine was formed. Then the body was formed. Then it was painted. Okay, I get it, but who did it? Whose mind was behind this? Who made this engine? Who fit the engine there? So every time if you ask who made the car, and you get this answer that the engine was formed and that it was fit in a body and then the body was painted, and you never know who did it, this answer is incomplete. When we say that the laws of nature are there in this universe, then you don't say that this is how the universe began, and this is how the solar system was formed, and this is how this earth came into existence, and this is how the life began. You don't say this. When I ask that the laws are there, then you talk about the lawgiver. Because if the laws are there, the lawgiver must be there. So kalimatul kufr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given these example, the example of kalimatul kufr as shajaratun khabitha, can easily be uprooted. We examine 2-3 kalimatul kufr and we can understand very easily the inconsistency of these kalimatul kufr. And unfortunately, our youth, especially those who attend school and we have no tarbiyah set up for them at home or in masajid, we don't bring them to masajid if we cannot provide them proper tarbiyah. What are they learning? Where are they getting their stuff? Who's brainwashing them? Their teachers. Those teachers who are already representing those ideologies that are completely opposite of our deen. We have given our children in the hands of those individuals that we disagree with their ideology, that here are my children, here are my son, here's my daughter, and you teach him, you make his or her future. So obviously what we're gonna get when they come home, when they will ask us about different questions that they have in mind, and we don't know how to respond, what's gonna happen? They will think that the faith that my parents have, the belief that my parents have, the ideology my parents practice, the deen my parents follow, everything is fake. Because I'm not getting my answers. They're not gonna get the answers if they will spend 8 hours, 6 hours in school, and by the time when they come home, they don't get the answers of their questions. It's very, very important. We're sending them to the environment where kalimatul kufr is being fed to them. Kalimatul kufr is being taught to them day and night. And not only one kalimatul kufr, kalimatul kufr, one upon the other, zulumatun ba'duha fawqa ba'd. So if they are in this environment and we make dua, oh Allah, keep our offspring on iman, keep our generations on iman. Yes, the dua is ibadah, we should. But dua is accepted only when we do our job. Our job is to give them that environment. If sending them school is the only option, then you have to make sure that when they come home, they have the Islamic environment at home. And if the parents, if we ourselves are not practicing Muslims, if we do not educate ourselves, if we don't know the basics, if we don't know the alif, ba, ta or the ABC, then there's no way we can educate our children. We have to talk to them about these sensitive issues. We have to talk to them what is kalimatun tayyiba and what is kalimatun khabisa. What should la ilaha illallah do? And all those statements that are made by atheists and agnostic, what do they do in your life? If we accept those kalimatun khabitha, then I guarantee that the hope of justice in this world will perish. It is not possible that the hope of justice will survive. Remember this, and it's very easy to understand. Imagine that if this life is by chance, and there is no life after this life, and there is no resurrection, and there is no reckoning, and there is no accountability, then ask yourself and ask around, how many people get justice in this worldly life? More than 50% people, they die without receiving full justice in this worldly life. If you're saying to them that this life is all what you got, and you're not gonna be accountable, and those who oppressed you will not be accountable. If you tell them that this life is all what you got, and when you will die, you will turn into dirt, and that's it. Nobody will be there to ask the oppressor why you oppressed. Then these people will have no hope of justice in their life. There will be two options. Either they will have mental depression, that a wrong was done to me, an injustice was done to me, and I'm not able to receive justice. So either they will have mental depression, or they will take the law in their hand, and they will try to take revenge from those individuals who oppress them. And then this society will be the example of injustice and violence. So people who think that there is no life after this life and there is no accountability, those who utter this kalimatul kufr, they are actually taking away from people their hope and justice, and they are indirectly promoting violence in the society, because they are provoking others to take matters in their hand. This is the impact of kalimatun khabitha. Therefore, as Muslims we are the only one who can rightly claim that we have kalimatun tayyiba. And if we have that kalimatun tayyiba, then it is our responsibility to preserve that kalimatun tayyiba, not only in our heart, but also in the hearts of our children, by providing them the right environment, bi'iznillahi ta'ala. I make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to follow the Quran and Sunnah, and raise our children as mu'mineen and salihin. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khairul jaza.